What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you stopping by for the first time, do me a real quick favor. See that red subscribe button down below? Go ahead and push that and show your support for the channel. Those of you stopping by that have been here before, welcome back to TLTG Reviews, my friends. Glad you came to see me. So it's that time of the week, week number 12. It's a weekly rotation. Let's get into it. So before we really get going, this is something I really wanted to show you guys. Now, this is a gentleman that watches the channel. You know, he reached out to me, emailed me. They make handmade candles, and it's not a sponsored video. You know, it's not a thing where he wanted me to put it in the video. He just said, hey man, I really want to send you some of these candles so you can check them out. I'll actually link them below. So they're called cross-centered. And I gotta tell you, if you like sweets, this is gonna be some candles for you. This is maple buttered crunch. And look at all the crumbles in there. It's cool looking, right? My God, you should smell them. I didn't burn them yet. They came in like 2 days ago. I wanted to talk about them on the channel real quick. And then this is the one my wife told me I can't have that she's keeping. This is a blueberry crumble, I believe. Yes, blueberry crumble. Let's get Romans 8:29. So very religious, cross-centered. Love what they're doing. They had some charity event at the hospital. That's why it took an extra week from when he told me he wanted to send some out to me. He emailed me and let me know. Great folks. Good stuff that they're doing for sure. Oh yeah, I see why she wants this one. You should smell that one, blueberry crumble. Like I said, I'll link them in the description below if you guys want to check out some of their candles. I haven't looked at pricing or anything like that, but they were kind enough to send these to me, and I told them the least I could do is, you know, give them a little bit of advertisement and get the word out for them on one of my videos. So thank you so much for sending these out, because I will say I plan on putting this one in my office, and my wife already told me I can't have this one, that she's taking this one. So thank you so much for sending these out. So let me put these right over here. Now, getting on into what I wore Sunday. So at first, my rotation was kind of going to be a retro week. See, I write down everything. See, week 12, retro week. And it started out that way. And then things started changing midway through. I mean, you can plan all you want, but sometimes certain fragrances are just going to start speaking to you. Because you'll notice, just to give you an idea, all the scratch outs. Nah, I changed my mind, I want to wear this. Nah, I changed my mind, I want to wear this. It kept happening. That stuff keeps happening. So on Sunday, Versace blue jeans. One that not a whole lot of people really talk about anymore. And I tell you what, for being as old of a formulation as it is, this thing still pushes. I went out and about, went run around at multiple Marshalls that day, went grocery shopping at HEB, and I mean, I was just pushing. I sprayed my chest, as a lot of you know, and I was just smelling myself for hours and hours and hours. And even when I got in the shower, I could smell it coming off my chest. This could be possibly the best $20 you can spend in men's fragrances, because it's older. The bottle looks dated. The can's kind of corny. I get all that. Take your shot for $20 if you haven't tried Versace blue jeans. If you like floral, fresh, spicy fragrances, because this is a great fragrance. Don't overlook it. And then later that night, it was time to shave, and I tested out Sensual Obsessions aftershave. Scent is Andy Warhol from Bond Number 9. Sensual Obsessions formulation. I actually did a little quick first impressions, first use. That was an Instagram and Facebook exclusive, which if you just go to my Instagram or my Facebook page, linked in the description below, you can go ahead and check that out, watch my little shave routine, and hear my thoughts when I use this. It smells, as soon as you squirt it in your hand, it smells so good. It's almost one-to-one. You lose a little bit of the top note from the bottle of Andy Warhol, but I gotta tell you what, it smells great. It's potent, just like Zaharoff's aftershave is. It's very, very potent. And then moving on into Monday, we're sticking with the retro theme, and this is one of my favorite fragrances ever made. Hard to beat. Got a lot of throwback comments on my Scent of the Day post and everything, but it's from Hugo Boss. It's the original Boss bottled. Can't go wrong with this one. Crisp apple pie, very woody. Love this fragrance. I got the big 200 ml this go around. Far from my first bottle. I love this fragrance. I'll always have this fragrance. It's so good. Those of you youngsters that haven't tried it, you're missing out. Just like when you start listening to rap, you need to know your history and listen to the OGs and the old stuff. Same thing here. Video games, you need to learn about Atari and the original NES. You know what I mean? You got to stair step it. Same thing with fragrances. You gotta round out with the original stuff that got real popular. Your Cool Waters, your Boss Bottleds, your Aqua de Joes, your CK1s. What else? Your Green Irish Tweed clones, because not everybody can afford Green Irish Tweed. That's why I say Cool Water, stuff like that. Your older fragrances, you got to dabble your toes in them to really get an appreciation for where fragrances have gone today. And this is one of the superstars of the 90s that's still going strong, that has spawned countless flankers, because it's that good. And then moving on to that evening, very nostalgic smell for me, as a lot of you know, Tommy Hilfiger. Tommy. Not really my favorite out of the shower fragrance. I just felt like wearing it when I got out of the shower. Very, very fresh, spicy. The cactus note, I've noticed a lot of people that have talked about it don't really get the cactus note, and I don't know how, because I get the cactus note heavy, even smelling it out of the bottle. Maybe they're just not familiar with that note or what, but this and Bulgari Man Extreme screams cactus note to me, and that might be why I like them so much, because it's a very fresh, spicy, juicy note. And I gotta tell you what, Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger is very nostalgic for me. It takes me back to my elementary school days at Broadmoor Elementary, back in Homme, where I'm from. Smelling this takes me back, because that's when me and all my friends and classmates and everything, that's when Tommy blew up. And that's when we were all wearing Tommy Hilfiger. We were wearing Nike shorts and Tommy Hilfiger polos and all that stuff. It screams 90s to me. Absolutely love Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger. And then moving into Tuesday, one that we really haven't talked about on the channel, and this is a foundational fragrance for me. My dad had bought this for me in 2001 when it came out, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I just ran out of sprays of that bottle. I kept that bottle for years, about 2 years ago. And I finally pulled the trigger and bought 2 3/4 ounce bottles. And this was my first wearing of it. This is from Cody. This is Aspen Discovery. And I bought these unboxed, and they came in these, you know, these little bubblers from Fragrance Net. You can find them all, the 3/4 ounces, you can find them all over for that like $8, $10 range, $5 range actually, $5 range. I got 2 of them, so I got 1.5 ounces. The top note, the citrus, has kind of spoiled a little bit. Not real bad, so it passes real quick. This is very, very barbershop, very, 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 very barbershop. Lavender, musk, and citrus with woods. That's what it is. And I gotta tell you, this really takes me back. This reminds me of my dad, who did pass a long, long time ago. This reminds me of him because this was a Christmas present, and I actually fell in love with it. It's because it's so barbershop, it's a bit mature. And for a teenager, this is a little bit of a mature scent. This is what really, this and then a few years later, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue really sparked what you guys are watching today, okay? This whole love for fragrances. So that's why I say this is a foundational fragrance for me, and one that I always need to have a bottle of, because it just takes me back to so many different things when I smell it. If I was to do a Mount Rushmore, Aspen Discovery would be on it. And then later that night, if you're gonna wear Aspen Discovery during the day, you gotta wear Aspen at night. Speaking of Green Irish Tweed clones, this is a bit more piney green. That's the main thing I like wearing this one for, because performance is god-awful. Performance on Aspen Discovery is actually solid. I get about 7 hours, even 19 years later. But Aspen, oldie but a goodie, cheapy but a stud. It's great out the shower in my opinion. Very pine green. You cannot go wrong with it. So moving into Wednesday was a suit and tie type of day. One that I recently got in my haul video. Bought this one from Cliff. Glad I did. Don't understand why he wanted to come off of it. He does win a lot of raffles. His exact words to me is, I'll just win another one. And he probably will. Fahrenheit Parfum. This thing smells great. Not a projection monster by any means. Fragrantica can fool you. I can tell you firsthand, it's not super heavy on projection, but it goes and goes and goes and goes, just like you would expect with a pure Parfum concentration. And quick disclaimer, I see a lot of people saying EDP when they're talking about things like this and Bleu de Chanel Parfum. And those aren't eau de parfum. pure Parfum. It's an extrait de Parfum concentration, not eau de parfum. EDP is eau de parfum. Parfum is not EDP. Just eats me up. I never say nothing in the comments while I'm thinking of it. I want to throw it out there because there's a few specific people that come to mind. You know who you are. Fragnatics. Now you know exactly who I'm talking about. Just saying. Just pet peeve type of stuff. Love you though. Fahrenheit Parfum, fantastic fragrance. Not that easy to find. If you can get your hands on it, I believe it's well worth it. 75 ml is the only size option. That's what they come in. Been reformulated a couple of times from what I understand. I don't care. It's a great scent. It's what Fahrenheit should smell like to me. The petroleum note's not really there, but the DNA is, and it's beautiful. And then later that night, I busted out some Cool Water, my mild deodorant spray, because that's the weaker performer. I do have the Eau de Toilette once again. That's more for if I want to wear it out and about. Very fresh, can't go wrong. 2 Green Irish Tweed clones, 2 nights in a row. And then let's see, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So my apologies, guys. I actually had to chop that up and edit it around because of all these scratches, these scratch outs, it kind of messed me up on my list. I actually skipped Wednesday. This was actually Thursday, Fahrenheit and Cool Water. So on Wednesday, I actually did a full review of this fragrance. This was sent out to me by EJ Wells over at Happy Land Studio. This is, believe it or not, Alexandria Hefe's 1984 in a Happy Land Studios bottle. And I gotta say, I'll link that that review at the end of this video because this is amazing. This is wonderful, and it is not a red tobacco cologne. It's an original. It's not a red tobacco cologne. Don't think that because they say it smells like it on Fragrantica that it does, because it's not the same fragrance. This stands on its own, and it smells amazing. Hanny Hefe's did a great job with Hefe's 1984. And actually, that night I had wore Cool Water as well, so it was actually a double up. 2 days in a row. So my apologies for getting mixed around. That's the downside, like I said, to having all these scratch outs and changing your mind and changing your mind. Get a little lost in what's going on with it. So that was Wednesday. Thursday was Fahrenheit. Moving into Friday was game day in a sense, because it was the last day of the month. Suit and tie again. My new car director wears a Ventus, and I'll tell you what, his batch, it projects like crazy. I told him, I said, it's got to be an old bottle, because my 19S11 doesn't project like this. No, it's a new fresh bottle. I just got it a month ago. And he pays, you know, he's got a guy he gets it from that owns a fragrance shop, but it's a new bottle, he said. It's a, you know, a recent batch. And I tell you what, it projects like crazy. So I figured I'm going to drown him out today. And I walked into the morning meeting when they called it, and there were several people that smelled me. So first time I wear it, Zaharoff, Acento. I was waiting for the right time to wear this, and I found that right time, and it worked out great. I did not keep the bottle with me like I normally do because I knew it was going to go all day. And I'll tell you what, this is an all-day fragrance. I do have a full review to do on it. I wrote my notes down. This stuff's amazing. It really is. This stuff is amazing. Very floral. The iris is prominent. The hyacinth really pops. The pineapple's abundant in the opening. It's a very, very, very clean white musk. It's a stud right here. I actually wish this wasn't a 50 ml. I wish it was 100 ml because I probably won't rebuy it because it's so expensive. But who knows? Maybe one day. But I'm going to be so scarce with it that I may never run out of it anyway. You know, because I did one on my chest, one on each side of my neck, and I did one on the back of my neck. So I did 4 sprays total, and that was plenty. Hours into my day, one of my buddies at work walked by my desk and stopped in his tracks. I said, "What are you wearing today?" And he threw, I mean, we're talking 6 hours in. You know, this Zaharoff Acento, one that's worth trying. I'll tell you what, it is not subtle by any means. You know, and then later that night, going right back to that retro feel, I busted out the original Curve. Not something you think of out the shower, but I was feeling it. I saw it sitting over here on the desk because like I said, I was originally planning on doing a fully retro week, 20 fragrances that are 20 years or older, which with Aspen Discovery, I was cheating. It was only 19 years, but it deserved being worn in this rotation. So it was still sitting right here, and I saw it. I said, yeah, why not? So I just started spraying away. Curve, another foundational fragrance in my opinion, one that you got to try as a young buck. They're all over the place at the rack stores. They're cheap for a big bottle. You're bound to like it. It's very pleasant. People enjoy the smell. Definitely one you need to check out. And then last but most certainly not least was Game Day, which I didn't have the best game day yesterday. But I smelled great. Another one, walked in the meeting in the morning, they smelled this. And wrote down my notes on it, and I'll do a full review soon on it as well. Cedrat Boisé from Mancera. I had somebody in the comments tell me it's Cedrat Bois. A French friend of theirs told them that I'm pronouncing it wrong. Well, I'm not French. I am a white boy American, and I pronounce what I see, Cedrat Boisé. Nothing wrong with the way I say it, but apparently it's Cedrat Bois. Sounds good, I guess. So, very, very happy to have a full bottle of it now, because my decant was starting to get pretty low. You know, putting a little dent, about half my decant left. I was being scarce with the sprays. I was not scarce with the sprays yesterday. I went heavy. I went heavy on that decant. So I actually haven't used the bottle yet. I just wanted to put the bottle in the video. I sprayed the hell out of that decant. I did 7 or 8 sprays yesterday. I think it was like 8 sprays. I went heavy. Yeah, 8 sprays. No need to refresh. I mean, I've heard the horror stories about the reformulation and the performance and all that good stuff. Not with me. I got great performance from it yesterday. I'm just going to be honest with you guys, and they're both recent batches. And then I wore Cool Water for a 3rd time, believe it or not. I was just really digging Cool Water this week. So I had 3 nights this week. It took Nautica Classic's place. This is the first time in my weekly rotation Nautica Classic did not make it. I was just really digging Cool Water. But until next time, guys, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Do appreciate all the feedback. I love hearing from you guys. What'd you wear this week? You saw where I was going with it and where it ended up. It was kind of all over the place, because at the end of the day, you can plan for it, but certain fragrances are going to start speaking to you, and it's just going to have to go down. You're just going to have to wear them. Some days you just want to smell like certain things, and this week was a prime example of that. So I will say, until next time, if you get your hands on some of these and you give them a spray now, there's a really good chance you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.